Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So you're at the place where you go into sujood, whether to go hands first or the knees. We spoke about how there is jawaz for both, but the clear method, as explained by Ibn Jawziyah and others in the light of the authentic narrations and looking at the matun and asanid, is to put the knees first and then the hands. And in sujood, to put 7 of the body parts on the ground. And this is mentioned in the Sahih Hadith reported by Ibn Abbas from Prophet ﷺ. He said, I have been commanded. This is very important, as it means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordered Prophet ﷺ to put 7 of my bones, 7 bones on the ground during sujood. So this tells us making sujood correctly is from the arkan of the salah. It is from the essential pillars of salah. If you don't do it correctly, it makes the salah batil. That's why the Bedouin who came and he made the salah incorrectly, and Prophet ﷺ told him to repeat the salah. One of the things he was taught when you're in sujood, to put yourself in sujood till all your bones at calm peace in their place. Prophet ﷺ also forbid pecking in sujood like the hen. Now what are the 7 bones? The 7 bones that have to be on the ground. Number 1 is the feet. The front part of the feet, toes should be pointing towards the Qibla. The 2 is the 2 knees, so now we're at 4. Then your hands. The side of your elbow should be away from you and not let your elbow touch the ground. As Prophet ﷺ, he forbid making sujood like the dog. If you see a dog how it sits, he puts his arms down. Even though it has no arms, it's tashbih, as we spoke about the camel. So elbow should not touch the ground, and this is am for both men and women. So the elbow should be up. Unless there is a Sahih Hadith differentiating between the man and woman, these orders are general. The hands, as Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, he describes, should be in proportionate to your body, to how you make takbiratul ihram. So for example, if you started the salah, if you made takbiratul ihram, raising your hands up to the shoulders, in sujood they can be up to your shoulders. And if you raise your hands up to the ears in the beginning of salah, in takbiratul ihram, in sujood they can be up to your ears. And number 7 is the face. When Ibn Abbas, when he explained this, he pointed to the nose. Imam Nawawi in Sharh al-Muslim, he explains if anyone omits any of these, their salah is batil. So it's very important to make sujood correctly. Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen said it is not possible for an abd of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to lift any of these 7 body parts when making sujood, as Prophet ﷺ ordered it, and he mentions the hadith in Bukhari and Muslim. Then he says if anyone lifts any of these for a small time then puts it down, the sujood still has all 7, then the salah is fine. But if someone omits touching these throughout the sujood, so then that salah is batil. If someone puts, if someone's foot does come up and they put it back down, as long as in sujood all 7 were on the ground, your salah is fine. But if the whole time your feet were up, the salah is batil. For the Ahnaf, is mentioned in Muqtas al-Quduri, even though Imam Abu Hanifa felt the view that somebody has a choice between his forehead and nose, but his own students such as Imam Abu Yusuf and Imam Muhammad al-Shaybani disagreed with him and said nose and forehead have to be on the ground together. This is the opinion of the Maliki, as mentioned in Muqtas al-Khalil, and for the Shafi'i, it's mentioned in the Sharh of Sahih Muslim and Al-Majmu' of An-Nawawi, and in Zad al-Mustaqni for the Hanabila. And it's also mentioned in Al-Umdah, the book we are studying. So there seems to be consensus across the board of the ulama on this issue. The next issue is what do you recite in sujood. One of the supplications we find in many hadith is Subhana Rabbiyal A'la. And this is something without khilaf. At minimum, even if you are in a rush, should say at least once. The minimum proper way is 3 times. Saying Subhana Rabbiyal A'la in the salah is wajib. Not from the arkan of the salah, but it is still wajib. So it is still an obligation, and we must do it. Now we are not allowed to recite Quran in sujood. Now if there is a dhikr like Allahu Akbar or something like this that is in adhkar and in the Quran, then using it as a dhikr is jaiz, is permissible in sujood. But there is no tilawat of Quran in ruku and sujood, because there is a clear hadith on the prohibition of this. After the first sujood, one sits. So before the next sujood, you sit, and this sitting is in the iftirashan position. So where your left foot is put down and you're sitting on the left foot, and your right foot is popped up with your right toes pointing towards the Qibla. This is how you sit between the two sujoods. there are adhkar to be made here, for example, saying Rabbik Fili, or Allahumma Fili, or others. These are very important. As Prophet ﷺ, he would order the Sahaba to make these sujood, make these adhkar between the sujood. The ulama of Islam said their hukum is that they are wajib. So saying Rabbik Fili between the sujood is wajib. There is amr, there is order here, so it is wajib. Also means we have to sit between the two sujood long enough to make these adhkar. We shouldn't peck like a hen, as there is mana on this, as there is prohibition on this. Prophet ﷺ describing the salah and its important aspects to the one who prayed badly, radiallahu anhu, he explained when you make sujood, then you sit down until all your bones have reached their place and you're calm, then you go for your second sujood. So we should not rush to the salah, as we don't want to be from those whose salah is not counted. As the Prophet ﷺ told the man, go make salah, you have not prayed. Now after saying this adhkar, saying takbir without raising the hands, as mentioned by Ibn Umar radiallahu anhuma, that he mentioned that Prophet ﷺ did not make raful yadayn, did not raise the hands in anything having to do with the sujood. So without doing that, here now you go into the second sujood and you make adhkar in it as you did in the first sujood, in the same manner. And then the one they get up for the second rak'ah. Now when getting up for the second rak'ah, there is to be at ease, mentioned in some hadith, and many of the ulama have given precedence that before you get up for the second rak'ah, you sit down and calm yourself and then you get up. Other ulama have presented evidence that show getting up straight away without sitting. As Sheikh Abdullah ibn Aqil rahmatullah alayhi, he mentions in his fatwa to the close meaning, he said there are dalail, there are evidence for both sides. So for those that want to use it, this is something good, it's from the sunnah, and for those who get up straight, there's no inkar on them as well. So we don't see one way that you have to do it this way or you can't do it the other way. Rather, sometimes if somebody, especially if someone has difficulty or some kind of health issue, he may take a rest before getting up, or if someone wants to get up straight away, then there is nothing wrong with that either. Now the person, he gets up for the second rak'ah and he says Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. He says silently if you're leading the salah or reading out loud, and begin with Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Jazakumullahu khairah.